so excited. I'm ready to get started. I don't even think you know. Like, you don't even know, but I'm going to tell you anyway. All right, so let's get started. So, woo! Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Crystal K. Today I am here with a guest that I am so thrilled, so excited to talk to. She is an inspiration. She is the Queen of Charlotte by way of Brooklyn. She is also Charlotte's Influencer of the Year. She is the host of the O Show. I mean, she got everything going on. She is just the queen of media, the queen of Charlotte, and I just want to thank you so much for sitting down and talking to me today. Please welcome Miss Ohavia Phillips.
Hello, beautiful Crystal. So first things first is I want to say thank you so much for letting me be here. So happy. I'm very excited. Thank you, my love. This is awesome. So excited.
No, thank you for saying yes, for doing this. Like, this is amazing. I just want to say it now. I love everything that you're doing. I follow you on Instagram. I love seeing the work that you're doing, especially in the Charlotte community. Like I said, you are inspiration for me doing my thing and seeing you thrive. You don't even understand. So this is like phenomenal that I get to sit and talk to you. I tried to come to one of your shows like earlier this year that you had in Charlotte, but I wasn't able to make it, and I was so bummed out because I was like, I gotta go. She's having the live taping. I gotta go. But I wasn't able to make it.
When I tell you, I was like, okay, so with this whole pandemic, how is this about to go?
Right.
Because I love everybody to pull up. And I was like, Lord, what we doing? There will be more. There will definitely be more. So I'll make it up to you.
Yes, I'll be there. I'll be in attendance.
Yeah. Say less.
So, first off, how are you? I didn't even ask you that. I'm going on my rant, like, yay. I'm all excited, like starstruck. How are you?
No, my love, beautiful. I feel amazing. Crystal, when I tell you, like, I'm the happiest, and I'm a pretty naturally happy person.
Yes.
But for instance, like, I am the happiest I've been my whole life. I feel like I'm in my lane. I'm in my zone. Mm-hmm. I'm, like, uber focused. Opportunities are coming from left and right. Like, the hardest decision is deciding which one, which is a blessing.
Yes.
For all the creative entrepreneurs out there, I've been doing this for about 4 years, and it wasn't an easy 4 years. So it's just such a blessing. Now I get to kind of breathe a little bit more. So when I tell you, I'm just so happy, like, everything is just aligning and I feel in purpose. And I'm definitely using the platform God bless me with on purpose. So
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I want to get into that. But first off, can we just have a little bit of story time? Can we just talk about your story?
Absolutely.
Okay. So give us a little bit of background. Well, I got a little bit of background. I know that you're originally from Brooklyn, and now you're in Charlotte.
That is a baby. Yes. So literally from Brooklyn, New York. My mom is an RN, phenomenal RN. Shout out to all the first responders out there, registered nurses. And so she was an RN out in Brooklyn. And when I turned 13, things back home just started getting real. It just started getting real. Is the best way I could put it.
Okay.
So I'm the oldest of 5. So literally it was like 5 of us, single mom. And like she was hustling and doing it. And I mean, my mom killed it. Like we was in private schools. I was in the arts. All the things, which is actually how I figured out what I love to do growing up. But my mom said, you know what? I can't keep doing this. New York is getting crazy, and it's a lot of y'all. So we moved to the South. And when I tell you I love me some South, and if they talk about the South, they better watch their mouth. Because people be so confused. They be like, aren't you from Brooklyn? Yeah, I'm from both. Okay? Both. Literally, I love this city so much. Says Charlotte has been nothing but a blessing. I mean, I came here in 7th grade. I'm 28 now, so we came out here when I was about 13. And when I tell you this city, I mean, continues to bless me. So grateful for all the relationships I built and the ones that I definitely took time to love on because I'm just seeing the harvest. And when I tell you I love this city, everybody wants me to move to Atlanta. And I'm like, y'all can move. I ain't moving. So, y'all move. I ain't moving. So... But yeah, that's really how the story goes, and the rest was really history.
Okay, so then fast forward a little bit from 13 to a few years later. So you have a background in news. Talk about that.
Absolutely, my sis. So absolutely love news. That's actually where I got started with a lot of this. Growing up, I was the kid that used to ball up computer paper and interview my sister and my dad. And so growing up, it was actually in the 8th grade, there was a shooting near my school. I went to Sedgefield Middle School, real quick, go Spartans. But I went to Sedgefield guy from WSOC. He comes up to me. He's like, hey, you know, could I interview you just to get a student perspective? I was so like nervous. I was like, I don't know how this goes, but I said, sure. Literally, sis, I remember like he was asking me questions. I was giving him the interview, and then he just stopped and he was like, you need to be doing this. Keep in mind, I'm only in the 8th grade, right? So I'm like, what I need to be doing? And he said, you need to find your way in journalism. And that was the first time I finally figured out a name for rolling out paper, interviewing family members, being the one at the barbecue to be like the correspondent. Like I was really that child. And so fast forward, I was a junior at UNC Charlotte.
Hey.
And hey, real quick, let me throw, I got you. And I had a internship with Spectrum News. Back then it was Channel 14. Some may know us also as Time Warner. We went through a couple name changes. And literally the same guy that interviewed me from WSOC I saw him on another scene as an intern.
Yeah.
And the only thing he said to me, Crystal, was, you found your way. And I was like, I was the worst. I was like, oh my gosh, this is spiritual. Oh my gosh, I'm called to this. And literally, that's when I feel like it was just a domino effect of finding purpose in media. I was also blessed to cover a lot of big headlines, to only be 21 or 22 in the business. I covered the 2016 presidential election, the Keith Lamar Scott shooting, Carolina Panthers going to the Super Bowl, as well as a lot of other sad headlines, like mass shootings and things. But I found that my work was very important because it was giving information, connecting the dots where Charlotte needed to know more and obviously wanted to know more. And then literally, sis, I just began to just continue finding my way after news.
Okay, so why did you leave news? Well, you know what? Let's back up because I want to ask you about news because it was an avenue that I had, but I just feel like my personality did not fit news, and I'm more like positive vibes. I need upbeat, like woo. That's me, right? So just tell me how you, I don't want to say found balance, but how did you keep your sanity, keep your optimism when so much of the news is negative? Like, how did you stay true to you?
Yes, I'm gonna be honest with you, sis. Crystal, the news business is not for the faint of heart. You know, unfortunately, we have a saying in the business: if it bleeds, it leads. So that's very simple, and you already know what you're getting into way before you get real into the thick of it. And so I noticed that my body was paying for the negative news I was reporting. So I would break out in hives, didn't want to wake up. I was gaining weight, just unhealthy eating and sleeping habits. Also, for all of my like newsies who really know about really know about that life, you know, when you first get in the game, you have the 1 a.m. So they call you like the overnighter. So you're doing like 1 a.m. shifts, 2 a.m. shifts, and I found, Crystal, literally it was weighing me down. So not only am I waking up early in the morning before anybody's awake, but all this crime, all of this darkness is happening while it's dark. I'm barely awake. I wish the world wasn't like this. And you see the underbelly of the city that you love. Yeah. So it began to take a toll on me, sis. And, you know, by nature, I'm always, first of all, even when I was like a kid, I was the one, my nickname was Little Miss Sunshine. So I loved people. I loved listening. I loved telling stories. And that Little Miss Sunshine that was, you know, birthed inside of me, I noticed that she started going quiet. And I had to ask myself the tough question, like, Ohavia, is news the win for you? You know, you have all this personality and you're doing all these things. Is it a win for you? And after 4 years, I decided, I'm telling you, very much so decided. I said, you know what? There's got to be another way. And I left my full-time job in news after 4 years. And I didn't even write a resignation letter, since I wrote a resignation text. And I said, if I don't do this now, I'll never do it. Thanks for everything. And that was it.
So was this a hard decision for you, or was it kind of like, no, this is what I got to do? How hard was that decision?
Crystal, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Crystal Dental. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's so funny because, yeah, you know, I get commended often for like jumping shit. And listen, to God be the glory. When I tell you, sometimes I look back and be like, how did we do this for 4 years and counting? But like, what I also think we need to appreciate are the people who stay, but stay with strategy, right? So those are the people who don't like their jobs, but it's like, I'm going to stack my bread. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people like, well, I can't jump ship right now because I have responsibilities. So to answer your question, honestly, sis, it was something that I knew I had to do, but it was hard because I had all these responsibilities. I put a lot of stock in the relationships I built through news, and I wasn't in the talk show space at all. So everything was very cut and paste, very newsy for what it was. So there was no style in it. There was no intricacy. It was what it was. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, it forced me to ask the question of, now let's talk identity. Who was I what was I doing for 4 years? Who was I being for 4 years? And when I tell you, sis, I forgot I had a whole accent. I forgot. When I tell you, sis, like the news world just, it taught me how to morph. But one thing I will always tell journalism familia is morph, absolutely, but never change. And that's what made it hard to walk away, because I was going through a huge identity crisis. I had no bread saved up. And then I'm leaving something that my family said that they saw over my life. Friends, they were like, oh yeah, we could see that makes sense. And I was the most confused, but at the same time, so sure. So it was a very interesting year. But sis, I ain't gonna hold you. It was, I'm surprised I still got edges.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. So after you decided, you know what, I gotta walk away from news, I gotta find me. What was your thought process? What were you thinking that you were gonna do? Because I'm sure you know, hey, Little Miss Sunshine is still in here. This is what I love. I love people. I'm sure you knew like what you loved, but what was that process like?
Oh my gosh, sis, I love this question. Crystal, this is my favorite question. I'm not gonna lie, and this is to all the people who are thinking about jumping 9-to-5s, or if you have already done it. I want people to give themselves grace, because for so long we give careers and our jobs, all of us, and we become lost in that sauce. So I'm not gonna hold you, sis. Literally the first year I was like, okay, I want to get to the happy. Where do I go? I said, I want to get back to the girl who was interviewing people. She was excited about hearing stories. I want to get back to her. So I'm not gonna lie, I took the PhD route of throwing noodles and seeing which one stuck. I was like, okay, I love to host, I love people, I love moderating, I love speaking. Let's see what happens. And for a year straight, sis, while I was hustling at the coffee house, I was just throwing anything, tossing anything out to Charlotte. Like, hey guys, I just left Spectrum. Do you need a host? I'll do it for free. Hey guys, I just left Spectrum. I would love to come to school and talk to your students. I'll do it pro bono. All I ask is, can I record it? You know, little things like that. Yeah. It didn't pop off immediately, Crystal. It didn't. And this is for people who are waiting like for the harvest, like, all right, where's it at, Lord? I gotta let you know this. It was not instant. Notice I said a year, right? So while the year was going, I was hustling. I was doing 50 million things. Honestly, to say about 70% of it was completely pro bono, so I wasn't getting bread. So when I tell you, sis, it was like a year of OMG. And so I just threw things, and then I found my way back with a lot of hosting gigs, and then that's what put me in the talk show space. Okay, so what would you say is the most important lesson you learned from that year, that space that you were in? Yeah. Ooh, that's good. The most important lesson I learned is patience. Patience. For everybody, patience is for real. Like, whether you want to work in media or with people, there's one thing that I'm seeing that is literally like the same. It is a pattern. It is a theme. And that's in media and working with people, it does take time. Tyler Perry said something so good. He said, the higher you go is the longer it takes, right? And that's literally in every sense. So like, when you want to work with Paramount and all these big names, the checks take longer to clear, right? Deals take longer to go through. You got to sign NDAs with lawyers and a lot of people. And I remember when he said it, I was like, no, you know, I mean, it's Tyler Perry, but Tyler Perry, I want to say you were right, and I'm sorry, and I love you. Because when I tell you the higher you climb is literally the longer you wait. So in media, it's so important for my journalism brothers and sisters to understand, listen, it's patience. A lot of people are going to tell you no. A lot of people are going to say your look isn't what they're looking for, and then come back later and be like, we loved it. You know what I'm saying? Those are all things that will happen. But the goal is to not give up. Is to take all of those things, not change yourself, more of how you're crafting yourself, and go back out and do it every day. And I literally did it on repeat amid a lot of no's, amid people telling me like, you're dumb for leaving news, on top of the fear of I could possibly be blackballed because, you know, I had a hating boss, and I didn't know what was going to happen. But patience is what it takes, and that's definitely what I would tell people is take your time, because it take that long. Okay. Patience. Key. Where my keys at? I will hold my keys all the way over there, sis. I'm like, patient. Okay. So you spoken on morph, don't change. Will you please elaborate and break that down? Like what you mean when you say morph, but do not change? Yes, sis. So when I say morph, don't change, it is this essence of, in any industry, you're going to want to learn from the greats, right?
Yeah.
And what does it take to learn from the greats? You're going to have to hear a lot of tough things. You're going to have to learn a lot of tough things. It's going to be frustrating because pieces of you are falling away as you're elevating. Pieces of you are going to have to release old habits and the ways that you've studied in order to elevate. The way media was 4 years ago is not the way media is now. And I'm only 28, right? So I can't imagine the greats like Oprah and Robin Roberts having this conversation, right? But it's so important to understand that as you climb, as you elevate, you have to morph, but don't change. So there's a different morphing is this essence of, okay, when I go in settings, I'm still going to be authentic and true to who I am. But listen, respect the room. Read the room. Don't go in nowhere back bending and being extra. Now, listen, not every event is the same. So you wouldn't bring every energy, right? You wouldn't bring the same energy to every event because there are different events that call and require a different level of presenting. So what I would say to my journalism family is, in this game, there's a lot of morphing. You're going to have to read the room and respect the room. Don't go in pushing your gifts and talents. Let them decide, right? And that actually works better for you because now you're being perceived as authentic because you're not forcing anything. You're showing up in who you are, but never change. And that's one thing, since unfortunately in this game, a lot of journalists think they got to do, be the next person. So that's where you hear a lot of people mimicking same intros and outros. And you just see a lot of copycats. And that's because those are people who are afraid that they won't elevate because they have to imitate. And that's not how this works at all. That's the lie that social media is selling us. You don't have to imitate to elevate. So just make sure that you create the space to morph, study, learn from the greats, but never change who you are because people can tell. They can.
So with yourself, you are very high energy, which I love, and you always bring the energy. So is there a time when you feel like, I guess, how do you approach it? Because I've always seen you kind of consistently, from what I've seen via Instagram.
Yes.
Consistently Ohavia.
Yeah. And it's a blessing. I mean, literally who I am online is who I am offline. I kid you not, Crystal. I meet people sometimes and they come and they're like, Ohavia, what I'm about to say, please don't be mad at me. And I'm like, 9 times out of 10, I already know where this is going. They're like, Ohavia, I don't want you mad at me, okay? But thank you. Like, you really act like this.
Yeah.
And Chris, I'd be like, yeah, don't everybody that you see online, never mind. You know, this is like, never mind. And I get it all the time. It doesn't matter if, like, I'm out to coffee with my mom, brunch with my besties, or, like, at a whole gig. People always like, you're really real. And again, sis, it just goes back to learning from the OGs. And they told me, Ohavia, there is space for your personality, for your energy, your vibe. Don't dim it. Don't hide your accent. Don't hide your experiences. That's why I'm very transparent and, like, it's not embarrassing to me because it all was a good thing and it was a God thing, right? But I said that to say, sis, you know, I'm not saying that it was always easy. There was some rooms that had me feeling like I need to pull back. But when I tell you I love it here and it is real, you really could make money being yourself. No cap. No cap.
No cap. So, influencer of the year.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what they told me.
That's what they said.
City told me that, and I was like, love you guys.
So when you hear that, when you hear influencer, what does that embody to you?
You know, sis, I ain't gonna hold you. I know it's been a couple months in, and we got the rest of the year to go with this title, but every time I'm reminded, it's surreal. You know, because I think what it embodies is really what I'm giving, and that's being real, being authentic. I want to be very clear. Like, I didn't even know my name was in the hat for that. You know, I was on a Zoom. I was actually in one of these, sis, in a Zoom interview. And one of my good sis, shout out to Corey Smith from Black Wednesday. She texted me and she was like, hey, did you see this? And then my phone went off and I was like, and I just cried. Because it was no gimmicks. It was no tricks. I didn't copy nobody. It was a tough hill to climb. And to be recognized by the city as their favorite influencer, I was like, y'all really fool with people who are themselves. Since I ain't gonna hold you, I was like, okay.
Wait,
I was feeling my shoulders. So, you know, to me, what it means is showing up and being. And, you know, if there are people who are uncomfortable with you being, that's on them. That's not on you. And, you know, I think we have nearly about 1 million people in the city, and a big bulk of that said that they like what's real. And I'm just very grateful, and I love you, Charlotte. I love you, Charlotte. I gotta get that out, but grateful. And then I'm gonna start crying again, but yeah.
I mean, that's real. That's real if you start crying, you know? So.
I'm tearing up thinking about the announcement again, but very grateful. And shout out to Charlotte Magazine, too, for always edifying the best of local, and got to give them their props. They've been doing Best of Best awards for a while now, and so I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thanks to them for highlighting people who got it out the mud. You know, that
Definitely.
matters, so.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So growing up, who were some of your influences? Like, who were some, I know you're authentically you, but
Yes.
who were some of the people that you looked up to that you admired?
Oh, I gotta go with Lala from TRLC. And, you know, I don't know who gonna know all the references I'm making, but sis.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, with you, with me. We media family. So for all our media family, it was Lala from TRL, AJ and Free from 106 in Park. Who else did I study? I honestly was like an MTV, BET. I grew up in the BET, MTV generation where we had music countdowns.
Yep.
And whoever would be like the guest, whether it was the guest or the stationary host, I studied them. When I tell you, Crystal, I can vividly remember being like 11 and watching Free, like, and it was weird because I didn't know what I was going to do with it. She was mad grown and I was like 10 and 11. But I loved how Free was free, right? And now being 28 and blessed to work in this industry, like, little things like how she wore her natural hair.
Yes.
They wasn't doing that back then. You know what I'm saying? Little things like being curvy. They wasn't doing that back then. I think about Lala and how she was like, you know, Afro-Latina, and she held on to that and she kept her accent. That was huge. That was huge. And so for me, those were the women who I held close to and I studied. And I still go back on YouTube and watch Vault episodes because, again, it's all about learning from the OGs. So those are my go-to for sure.
All right. Okay. Let's.
Shout out to Free.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about your show, The O Show. Tell everybody a little bit about The O Show.
Yeah. So The O Show is my baby. So The O Show was inspired by my long stint in TV news with negative news and what it did to my mind and my body. I said, you know what? Instead of complaining, I'm going to create the news that I want to see. So the O Show is committed to highlighting, showcasing positive media content. That can be through community news, people who serve our communities, definitely through musical artists, a segment that I added in quarantine. Look at me, added segments when we can't go outside. It's okay. Because I think the biggest thing with the O Show is I wanted people to understand how I'm Little Miss Sunshine. Music is a huge part of my life. I wasn't one of those kids who grew up watching TV. That really wasn't me as a kid. I was a radio kid. So like literally like I add music because it's like that's Ohavia's vibe. I add intentional conversation because that's what I love. And I add moments where I can interact with the audience. So we do this segment where it's like, you know, give me your best Millie Rock. Give me your best freestyle. You know, give me your best words of encouragement because it's literally showing people like, this is my life. You know, I'm not putting on like, these are things that people ask me about all the time. And the reason why I built a show around those characteristics is because people like it and they do want to see positive media content. So that's really it, sis. It's just a show dedicated to all things positive and good. Because as we can see, our world needs it now more than it always needed it.
Yes.
It always needed it. It needed it. So, yeah.
Well, I love what you're doing, especially in the Charlotte community. So tell me why that's so important to you. Because look, there's Ohavia, amazing news every day. You're doing so much. You wear so many hats. Like, just, first off, how do you find balance with everything that you're doing?
Balance? No, just fine. I'm not gonna lie. And again, a big part of, the platform I've been blessed with is being honest. Y'all, I'm still learning balance. It's so funny because just before we hopped on for this talk, sis, I was texting one of my good sisters, Meredith Dean from the Dean's List.
Yes.
And, shout out to Meredith. She went and got a massage, and I was like, huh? We could do that? I said, we could get massages midweek? So I'm not going to lie, I'm trying to do better about it. I have an amazing boyfriend and family system who always remind me, like, sleep and stay in. I don't listen. I should. But I think I have to learn I have to learn when to listen to my body because especially in media, things move so fast and our bodies and minds got to go with it. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm doing better than I was last year, but I don't mind a little massage midday. I'm gonna just throw that out there.
So you're in the
still learning balance.
Gotcha. So you're in the gym like really heavy. How important is that to your balance, or to you just operating on a daily basis?
Yeah, no, for real, sis. I love the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not. I got, and I hope, I mean, it's okay to be addicted to the gym, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's not negative.
that's a good addiction.
Okay, I was like, I'm gonna just say what's on my heart. I'm literally addicted to seeing the best me every morning in the mirror. I'm not even gonna lie. So like, I don't care how we gotta get it, we gonna get it. So like, literally, like, I'll wake up 4 or 5 a.m. Shout out to my trainer. I'll go work out with Marquise, and sometimes I'll double up. I'll go jog in the park. I just joined Row House at Cotswold. Shout out to my Row House family.
Mm-hmm.
So they're keeping my arms tight. So I say all that to say, like, in media, unfortunately, there are amazing days, and when they're amazing, it's awesome, and you know this. But when there are sad headlines and they continue to trend, that begins to weigh down on my heart because I'm such an empath. Mm-hmm. So the gym has been a phenomenal way for me to release energy as well as receive energy. So like the community of people I work out with, they always give me love, and they're like, come on, oh, when I'm doing my rounds, like I feel seen. And I think that's what really adds to like the addiction part, because it's like you got people rooting for you, like, let me give y'all 10 more then, what's up? But I love the gym because it's a healthy outlet for me. Mm-hmm. And the community that I've been able to be inserted in has been such a blessing. So workouts, I'm telling you, sis, black girls work out.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Okay, I want to be clear.
So with you being Ohavia, amazing. When do you go out? Like, are you like out and about, like just like regular stuff, like going to the grocery store, or people always stopping you? Like, what is that like?
Okay, it happens all the time. I was in Beauty 101 in East Charlotte yesterday. I looked a hot mess. I'm not gonna lie. I came from the gym, ball cap on. I looked a mess. A woman tapped me. She was like, "Oh, show," and I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm presenting myself to you like this." And she cracked her. She was like, "Girl, I don't care." Basically, sis, it's such a blessing to be noticed and recognized. Again, like I never prayed and was like, Lord, I want this. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was more like, Lord, I just want to love on people and make, positive media content. This stuff came with doing that, and it's such a blessing. But I ain't gonna hold you. Sometimes I'm like, it's lit. You know what I'm saying? It's me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Ohavia, an Afro-Latina. I'm from Brooklyn. I live in Charlotte. I have a tooth gem. I be thinking about dumb stuff. I be like, okay. And I'm like, man. And it's so wild to me that people appreciate the little things. And I just be like, it's so, compared to whoever else. But I want to be clear, I don't have imposter syndrome. I think it's just it's so humbling when people are like, Ohavia. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, it could be at Stir Charlotte. It could be at the beauty supply store. It happens at my gym. I'd be like, to God be the glory. I ain't asked for it. So, it's a blessing. But I love it. And then when they hug me, I love it. So y'all keep it coming.
But I think, like, it speaks a little bit about what you're kind of alluding to. I think that when you're being a vessel and you're letting God use you and you're letting your light shine, you give others permission to do the same. So I really feel like, I know you said you didn't ask for this. You just asked to put out content that would touch people. But, I mean, when you're doing what you're called to do, that's where you are. That's what it is.
Look, you see my hands at received? Received. Mm-hmm. As and it's a blessing to be recognized for positive things. So that's why I really receive it. And I just, all the affirmations they give me, I'm like, receive, thank you. Mm-hmm. Love you too. So, and I love what you said too, Crystal, about vessel is one of my favorite words. That's how I know we cousins.
Yeah. Because
we media sisters, but we cousins. Because when I tell you, like, vessels are it's one of my favorite words because it really embodies this work that all of us can do by being authentic. Mm-hmm. Let somebody see your story. Like, all that hiding and flexing and finessing, that's silly business. You know what I'm saying? Like, be who you really are, because people could tell when you're faking.
Yes.
They could tell. Yeah, they could tell.
So with you having so much stuff coming your way, people wanting you, people pulling on you left and right, just, you're thriving. It's great. So how, we kind of talked about it earlier too. How do you, I heard Steve Harvey say that, Turner, how do you say it? I'm gonna mess it up, but you're gonna get me. Like, you can't touch everything. Everything you touch, somebody said something like, everything you touch is gold. And he said, that's because I don't touch everything. So
correct.
With you, how do you, I think I got it. I think I said it right.
That's good.
I think that's what it is.
I'm hearing it, but the way that you, like, sis, I was like, oh, yeah.
Because you got a lot. You got a lot of stuff. So how do you decide what's going to fit your brand, how you're gonna do it, what you're gonna move, what you're gonna touch, like what's your process?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was not one of those girls who came up in the game and was like algorithm or numbers. I'm not even gonna hold you. I actually suck at math in general. No cap, y'all. I suck at math in general. The only thing I know how to do is count money. Okay. But literally, when I tell you, I was never one of those girls who went by algorithms and numbers and all these things that unfortunately we make it to be about. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's actually my cheat code. Is I show up every day and I make content fresh every morning. I'm up from 4 a.m. So I'm like, okay, let me take advantage of the early rise. And when the sun starts setting, let me take advantage of it. But sis, that's really my cheat code. Is every day is something different because every day is something different. Mm-hmm. And that's another part of it too. Is I don't stay married to one thing. You know, I'm not hard on myself to be this person, be this brand, be this. I just show up authentically, and as it comes, you know, always praying about what I should respond to, of course, because you know you can't let everything in. But like, I never said that I would be just any one thing. I believe that we are all multi-hyphenated, multifaceted, beautiful human beings, and it's okay to be all the things and none of them at the same time. Mm-hmm. You know, and I also want to ping this in there that all the things that you are don't have to be monetized, and all the things that you're not don't have to be criticized, right? It's accepting like what you're good at and letting it be what it is on a Monday through a Sunday. And so I think, sis, to answer your question, I think that's my personal cheat code. Is I was never married to how Ohavia should look. Even to my fashion, I'd be like, give me a plunging neckline, you know, give me bodycon, give me the long nails, because again, it's more so homage to my roots. And Afro-Latin culture is homage to Brooklyn, to my mom. My mom is a huge inspiration to all the things you see. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like, as long as I stay real, y'all can define what the brand is, but for me, it's really like, I just want to love on you, and I want you to feel that it's authentic when you see me. Long nails or not, you know, so, yeah. So
what's your why? When you wake up in the morning, what's your purpose? Why do you do it? What's your why?
My why, I used to say it was my brother's, but it's deeper than that, sis. And I'm not going to lie, the pandemic is what really, really stripped me and built me back up. My new response is, my why is because nobody else is going to do it. Mm-hmm. No, I haven't seen anybody stick to positive media content. I haven't seen anybody commit to being positive. Unfortunately, there are a lot of greats who started out trying and they end up, unfortunately, sharing people's private news, gossiping. And I didn't want to be that journalist. I didn't want to be a woman tearing a home apart. I didn't want to be a journalist tearing that celebrity down. I didn't want to be that journalist, you know, wagging my finger at the politician. I wanted to be the one that was different. Yeah. I wanted to be the one that gave space for people to explain. I wanted to be the one before cancel culture was a thing. Like, wait, before you cancel them, let's ask them why they did it, you know? And I remember getting in trouble for that in news. Like, I got a couple write-ups. Because I was always the one like, nah, there's a part 2 to this. And nothing is surface. Nothing about me is surface. Nothing about you is surface. You got a story, so do I. And so I think my why is nobody else is going to do it. And I'm not a complainer. So, excuse me, let me just do what I do. You know, like, clear the way. And I'm okay with that, sis. I'm absolutely okay with being used as a vessel. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's something
that's really important to me. It's why I do what I do, because I feel like we're all here to serve. I want to serve and through stories. That's what I want. I want people to hear other people's story. I want to be a platform for other people to shine their light and to share their stories, because you never know how your story will impact somebody's life. They might be sitting somewhere thinking, I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. Nobody else is going. When you think that you're alone, you're not alone. So it's something that is very important to me, but I feel like nobody cares. I'm not going to say nobody cares about positive news, but I feel like the gossip, the tearing people down, of course, if it bleeds, it leads. We know that. But I just feel like sometimes I feel like it's not a struggle, but you got to know why you're doing what you're doing, because it's so easy to say, well, nobody's paying attention and I'm over here trying to be positive and this is what you need, but why are you not paying attention? So like, you know what I mean?
Facts.
I don't know.
Fendi facts. Like, you be like, I mean, I know this is a good thing, but, and then it's that back and forth. But when I tell you, sis, you are hitting the nail right on the head. Perfect. 10s across the board. And literally, that's where it starts and it stops. It's, are you going to be different, or are you just going to follow where everybody else is walking?
Mm-hmm.
And what a lot of people don't know is you don't become a goat following people.
Facts.
If I asked anybody listening to this to name 10 gossip blogs, I bet they could keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Now name one positive one.
Exactly.
I tell you what, name a negative headline, now name a positive one. It's easier to name the negatives because that's how the system is built.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why for me, I already knew what I was walking into. I ain't trying to be the next nobody. I'm just trying to fulfill my assignment and show the next generation, like, this is doable.
Man. Yes.
Because who's going to do it?
Yes.
You know, they growing up where Shade Room is live all the time. They're growing up, and I ain't even going to name names because I want to be respectful because everybody, you listen, that's how they got their birth.
Yeah.
I'm not nobody's judge. But, like, our babies grew up watching a lot of people who kill it in the gossip lane. And it's like, did y'all ever think about the repercussions of that household? How that celebrity or that influencer got to bounce back? Nah, but for the sake of going viral and sharing negative news, you did that. And they're getting hand claps for technically ruining somebody's reputation in life. And, I'm not trying to be deep, but we really got to think about it this way.
Yeah.
Like, we scroll by and we talk about it with our homegirls and family members, but that's somebody's reputation you just killed.
Yeah.
So, sis, I just wanted to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a risk. And every day I show up, it's a risk. Because, again, you got to understand what we fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I love it here.
I like your lane. I like that whole lane that you're in. I love it. Keep driving.
And I love you. I love you.
So what do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as the girl that will walk in rooms and made friends with everybody, no matter what they believed in or even what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be known as the girl, like, man, she was such a lover and she had mad energy. And I also want to be the girl known for, like, she said something that I needed and she ain't know I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really, like, for me, that's like legacy. Like, I'm like in the grave at 112 years old, and like there's another like talk show, black or brown talk show girl coming up, and she's like, I remember when I met Ohavia when she was 80. Like when they talk about Maya Angelou.
Uh-huh.
I want to be that. Like I want to be like, when I talked to Ohavia, she was 80, and I was like in college, and she told me this thing. And when I tell you, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being the planter, the waterer. I'm okay with being the tender. I just want to be used in the most positive way possible, and I never want to ruin anybody's reputation or character. Mm-hmm. I want to always do it the right way with integrity, and I always want to create space for people to be uncanceled and give them a chance to explain themselves. So That's it. Yeah, I just want to be peace for people.
Peace.
Yes.
Yes.
I could trust that journalist. I know she ain't gonna skew the story. Like, I want to be that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, what are you working on? That was beautiful, by the way. Beautiful.
Oh, thank you, sis.
What are you working on next that you can talk about?
I know, right? Because I was like, let me see. This is the part I'm always like, I want to say it, but I signed an NDA. No, but what I can talk about. So, I am releasing a podcast.
Okay.
Very excited about that. Shout out to the Queen City Podcast Network. They approached me to basically take the O Show live from visual to audio and long form. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you, I just cried. I was like, because, doing this talk show, it's been about 4 years. That would be the one piece of advice I would always get, sis, is, oh, hey, I wish the conversation was longer. Uh-huh. And I'm like, well, I hate to break it to you, sweetie, but nowhere on national syndicated talk show news ever can you get longer than a 20, 30-minute convo. So I'm sorry, like, I wish, but, and then boom, God sent Queen City Podcast Network, boom, sent Ortho Carolina, sent all these people, and they just, to see how collaboration can back something positive, I'm just floored. So I just want to say thank you to Ortho Carolina, thank you to Brian and all my good friends at Queen City Podcast Network, because they are the reason they opened the door for me. And when I tell you, I'm putting my whole red bottom in that door. Sis. Rambo. Oh, well, I'm a girl. Ramba. Okay? No, because it's go time. So I'm very excited for long-form content to talk to some city leaders. And again, I'm going to give you a hint. It goes back to creating space for people to explain themselves. So I'm very excited about the lineup that we have of people who've already committed and said yes. And let's get back to honest journalism, and neutral journalism. Let's get back to that as much as we can.
Okay. Look, I love it. This conversation could go on all day. Like, this whole day, I was so excited. There's so much stuff I want to talk to her about, but I can't take up all her time. Like, I was just like,
take up my time.
No,
I was so excited.
No.
I want to say, I'm sorry for emailing you at 6 a.m. too. I was just so excited.
I think our email correspondence was a little bit off. Like, well, I think I wasn't getting them. And I was like, and then when I would get yours, it would be something that I already responded to. I was just I don't know. It was probably my Wi-Fi or something.
Honestly, because what I did notice in the pandemic is Google storage is full.
Maybe that's what's going on.
Maybe.
Because I was like, okay.
I'm going to check it. Thank you for that. I'm going to check that out.
I don't know. Okay. But I'm glad that we're here now, so.
Yes, me too. Me too, beautiful.
I just want to say thank you so much. And like I said, I really do love everything that you're doing. It is truly an inspiration. Just seeing you do the work and do it every day and seeing your results from it is amazing. It really is. And I love what you're doing. I really wish I could have met you in person because you were just up the street from me. But I will definitely be seeing you around. Definitely. Yes. So don't forget me.
No, to know Ohavia is not. I'm actually really good with names and faces. No cap. Ask the people. They be like, yeah. That's what we do. Take the time to get to know each other. So say it's never. And also, we're media family, so definitely you stuck with me, so congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry
Thank
in
you.
advance.
I think I'll take it.
Look.
Well, please tell everybody how they can follow you, how they can stay in touch with you. Drop those social media handles.
Yes, absolutely, my beautiful sis. Well, first, before I do that, I want to say thank you for lending your platform to honest conversation and being committed to that with people, getting to know them beyond the surface.
Yes.
So I want to give you your flowers because, that's the part of journalism that is kind of a lost art. We tend to do the questions, what's your favorite color? And what? But I love how you got deeper. I love how you took the time to listen. So I want to give you your flowers and say I'm excited about where you're headed. And just promise me you'll come on the show. Okay.
Of course.
But literally, I just heard your flowers. So thank you for this time. Seriously.
Thank you.
But yeah, familia, I can be followed at Ohavia Phillips. I'm one of those people who will follow you back. And also, I got to give you a disclaimer and a major brand warning. Following me, you will be very high energy. You will see a lot of high energy, get a lot of positivity. And I'll drop heart emojis on everything you do. So you've been warned. I'm a super supporter. So take that as you would.
I love how you're dancing too. I love it.
Sis.
I don't know how you do some of that, but...
Sis. All I'm going to say is I'm excited about these 8 counts for the fall.
Okay. I love it. I love everything about it. I love it. Well,
it's amazing.
I just want to say thank you so much for being on Let's Talk with Crystal K. This was phenomenal. Got to talk to the amazing Ohavia Phillips. So I know you're going to be great. I don't have anything else to say. I can't wait to just continue to watch you shine.
Yes, and I can't wait to have you as a guest, and I can't wait to see you. And anything you got going on, sis, let me know, and I'll pull up.
Definitely.
Seriously, hit me up on it. Seriously.
All right. Thank you so much.
See you, my love.
Bye.